What in today's presentation I am going to is first give an basic introduction about what is international business and talk about what are the trends, what is happening in the international business, and then zero into what I believe would be the destination for India, whether again medium kind of enterprises in the next year to come. Okay. Later on, interactions are most welcome. I would like to say why I am believing in this particular destination. But basically, one thing has to be remembered: without export, one no business is going to grow further. So that is the key part of it. Okay, so let's start. I am getting some requests from various participants about annotation. For the time being, I will request anybody not request. Okay, Amit bhai?
Yes, sir.
There are some participants. I think they are believing they are requesting for innovating the shared content. Okay, I think that may not be possible for the time being. Okay.
Yes, yes. No, at present, not. We will share the content with all the participants at later stage, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Next photo, please. No, Amitabh Kant is one of the foremost bureaucrat and a professor. This is very important to say. Either you export or you are out of the business. Do I will have to take it from somebody else. Okay. Hello. Who is this Sojana, please? For the time being, don't send requests. It is getting into the way. Participant not to send this message again and again. Basic point is that if somebody is able to do much better, country or company should do it, and which I can do much better, I should do it. Both have to be together and then go ahead. This is the basic fulcrum of international business throughout the world. Simple but most effective definition and reason for it. Okay. And this shows a bit in a different manner the fact that what is the situation. Okay. A country like Indonesia will be working, provide a lot of things to a country like USA, and this is the situation, but that is the reality of the life. And this shows the interdependence. Now, it's just like our automobile, there are gears. Okay, if one particular gear is out of the order, other gears cannot function. It may be the largest gear like USA or Europe area, but a small gear stops, all the entire mechanism stops. And that is the trade, interdependence of on each other or out networking with each other. That is something. So if we talk about international business is essentially a commercial transaction between country to country. It could be investment, it could be goods and services, physical movement, with technology, everything is international business once it crosses the border of one country to country. And this is a very simple way to show it. Okay, very simple. The key factors involved are finance, human resources, technologies and materials, and of course, there are institutions like World Bank which support us. Why a particular company will like to go for an international? As I said earlier, there are several factors: managing product life cycle, geographical expansion. Now, what is product life cycle? As you know, every product starts and goes up, 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 reaches the top, then it starts declining. A company has introduced a new model of a car or a new version of an air conditioner. It reaches a certain level, high level, then it starts coming down because everything which goes up has to go down. This company may like to go to some other countries so that its life cycle is extended. इंडिया में उसका saturation point आ गया है. But there are so many countries where they can try and continue working and continue expanding themselves. Okay. So these are some of the reasons why enterprises go for export. Product life cycle, geographical, technological advantage. Many times we have technical advantage other country doesn't have. Okay. Then our technology is required in that particular country, and that is a good scope. Many countries give incentives. Okay. For example, the countries which are ravaged by war, Afghanistan and Iraq, such countries require a lot of civil engineering expertise from India, and our engineers are still working there, having our own competitive advantages. And many companies believe that they should be in the internet business, and that is a corporate philosophy, and they go for it. Okay. The country also decide to go for internet business. The reasons could be somewhat different. Main is to have foreign exchange. Every country need to have a good foreign exchange. What is called balance of payment. If we do a lot of imports but less of exports, then our balance of payment is negative. Every country will like to see that they are in the positive side on more foreign exchange, and that is possible through export. There are other reasons also, like diplomatic relationship, and sometimes simply having a good relation with each other country. So these are the perspective of the different countries. Let us say where India stands as far as global trade is concerned. Okay. You must realize one thing, that when you are talking about in terms of business, whether you are studying or talking in the initial phase, you always must have a world map with you. You and me should be totally aware where does our country. It's a very important. As compared to domestic business, international business, the location, geographical destinations, logistics is a very important factor. The moment we say international business, we should know where we are located, how we are linked, how far we are from this country. Maps are one has to constantly keep in mind. So this is India. Okay. This is India in the entire globe. Okay. This is another way to look at where we are located. Now, if you see, this is another way of understanding the oceans. Okay. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, because world is round. So that is why these both are come together. Pacific, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. Okay. And these are the main North America, South America, Europe, Asia, where we are part of the Asia. Okay. Africa, and of course, entire called Asia Pacific region. Okay. Because this is Indian and this is Asia Pacific region. And we are going to talk about that. This is a very potential area for world trade, particularly for India. So this is, you must keep this in mind. The moment anybody, you or me, in terms of business, we should have this picture in mind, because that helps a lot. And then, unlike the domestic market, where even at a place like Assam, you can reach out. Okay. But as far as world is concerned, you cannot simply go to North America just like that. Okay. You have to start with Asia, maybe Asia Pacific, maybe Africa to some extent. Okay. And then, of course, go for it. Another way to say the same thing where we are located as far as India is concerned, this is Middle East. Okay. Now, this is also a potential area, and we are going to talk about that as a part of our suggestion. This is something where we are placed. While world trade is growing very fast, let me tell you one thing. Yesterday I was talking to Amitabh, and I'm talking to many people also. International business is something which we cannot ignore. It is going to be the most exciting. Don't think about the present crisis. In fact, this crisis also is going to give opportunities a lot. But we don't want opportunities like through. In terms of business is going to be the major thing for next 10 to 15 years for a country like India and for a state like Gujarat. Why? I've been traveling around the world in last 3-4 years. I have traveled most of the countries, and it is seen that now India has a presence. It is seen very positively. World trade is increasing, and country like India are able to contribute handsomely if you are able to do it. Keep in mind to do exports, and India is estimated to contribute over $500 billion to the global commerce for the first time in history in the next few years. Okay, and while statistics are not the only thing important, this gives an idea that the export business or international business is going to be around $590 billion in the present fiscal year, that is 2019-20. Okay. Has major trading partners. When we say trading partners, exports as well as import. These are the countries where we import. Now you can see country like USA and China on the higher side. Why? Because they are large countries and they consume more. But I would like to draw your attention. Other countries are going to come up, and that is what I am going to take. Like Singapore, countries like UAE, countries like Australia, countries for the future for a country like India. Forget about USA and China. To continue any manner. Okay. This is the typical reason of India's export. Okay. In general, we export agriculture, oils and mineral, manufactured items, and fuel and lubricant to some extent. Why I am pointing at manufactured items, I am going to tell you later on. Okay. This is the comparison of India's export to other in terms of indicative share. Okay. These are the kind of export we are doing in the industry. Jewelry, for example, we export a lot of gems and jewelry. But I would say, does it create value? No, we are not earning much. We are simply cutting and polishing the diamond. We are not making the ornament. If we make ornaments, then there is a value addition. Okay, so that is what we need to do. These imports, as we all know, petroleum products occupy the major imports, and that is something which we are bound to, and we are continue to have it. Almost 1/3 of India's imports is towards petroleum products. Unfortunate, but reality. Okay. And so this is the typical imports of India. Crude is almost 35 to 37%, any 40%, which is a major load on India. So that is why we all should export more in other products. We can have some better balance, offset our dependence and foreign exchange outflow in crude and petroleum products. We should do exports in other products. Okay. And now this is important to see. See the countries from where it is getting our oil and petroleum. Naturally, these are the countries having naturally, they are lucky to have oil and crude under the soil. So there is no option. How can we utilize this? How can we utilize this? These are the countries: Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, and other countries. These are the countries they are lacking in so many other items, so many other industries. They don't have a very good manufacturing base, and we must make proper use of the fact that we don't have everything. We must supply them. We are forced to buy crude and petrol from there. We should export products where we are more strong to these countries. China, everybody likes to hate, more so in the present crisis. Yes, it's a fact. This is a reality that one country like India, we are dependent on China a lot for many of the products. Go to USA, they are very, very dependent on China. Everybody feels that this should change. Yes, whether we can do it, yes, we should do it. This is the program I I have been to China a few times, and you must realize one thing. We are importing a lot from China, and we are not exporting to China to that extent. We are dependent on China today. All these red lines are the imports from China. Okay, and gray and blue shows the export to China, and the yellow one, the brown, yellow brown, shows the trade deficit. This we want to change. We really want to change in the period post this crisis. We must aim on that. So, what are the trade for scope of India? Let's see. Okay, one of the first thing we should start working on is a top priority. This crisis, work towards reducing dependence on China. Can we do it? Yes. Easy? Not. It is not easy. Okay. Just to give an example, almost 60% of the pharmaceutical raw materials are from China. 60% of the dyes and chemicals raw materials are from China. Gujarat is producing 35% of India's pharmaceuticals, 60% of India's chemical products, and a state like Gujarat is heavily dependent on China. We import a lot of fur. There is a place called Foshan. No, this is the Guangdong. This is the Foshan. Okay, this is the Foshan, and this is the Guangzhou under the Guangdong region. This Foshan region, if you go, normal circumstances, you always find about 100 people from Gujarat, minimum 100 people from Gujarat, buying furniture in bulk and sending back it to India and Gujarat. Okay. We stop it? Yes, we want to do it. We have to work on this. All the stakeholders will have to work together. Government, business, industry, people like us who are the consumer. It's not easy. What can be done? There should not be impulsive division. We cannot do from tomorrow we stop buying. It is not going to happen. But whether from day after tomorrow, can we start making that product? If we start making that product, the same product or a substitute, then we can do it. And that is what is called strategy and action plan, which is required, which is happening, which is people are started thinking, but this is not something. Okay, so this is the priority after this corona crisis. Okay, companies must move supply chain further from China. We are making it true. Last week only I had a discussion with a lot of pharmaceutical and chemical and dye manufacturers, and everybody was saying how to do, what to do. We want to do it. They should not forget it. Everything is down. They will start importing once again, then forget. If this is going to happen, then we will never able to. So this is something which is very much required. Okay. Something is that China, whenever we are going to China in past, we realize that China is under some pressure. China so far has been very dominant in the low-end manufactured goods. Low-end means छोटी-छोटी product बनाते in the bulk. Millions of products they make, and all over the world it is available. Why? They had a low labor cost and very high productivity. Very high productivity. A Chinese worker will produce in 1 hour 100 items. All over the world, other workers will not produce even 70 or 80 or maybe 50. And that is where China was progressing. But now things are changing. China's workers are demanding higher wages. They are not ready to work. And that is why there is a risk. China could lose its competitive edge more quickly if wages rise faster than the productivity. Whether, along with Bangladesh and Vietnam, whether India can seize this opportunity or not, we have to do it. If we don't do it, we'll be missing a link. There is a huge opportunity for a large number of made by China for us to make the similar product in the similar manner. It's possible. For a period of time, we have seen that India's also changed a positive change. We are exporting more of non-primary goods. What is non-primary goods? Let us give an example of a product like Isabgol. No, Isabgul is our own Gujarat product. આપણી ગુજરાતી પ્રોડક્ટ છે ઇસબગુલ. નોર્થ ગુજરાત અને રાજસ્થાનની બોર્ડર આગળ ઇસબગુલ બને છે. ઓકે. વર્લ્ડનું 70% ઇસબગુલનું રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ ઇન્ડિયામાં ગુજરાત આપે છે. 70% ઇસબગુલ વર્લ્ડને આપણે આપીએ છીએ. પણ આ ઇસબગુલ કેવી રીતે વેચાય છે? ઇટ ઇઝ સોલ્ડ ઇન ટર્મ્સ ઓફ રો મટીરિયલ ઓર અ સેમી પ્રોસેસ પ્રોડક્ટ ઓનલી. ફાઇનલ પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવતું જ કોઈ નથી. તો ઇસબગુલ ઇઝ અ પ્રાઇમરી ગુડ. જો એમાંથી ફાઇનલ પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવીએ, can we from Isabgul, for example, then that is a value. India, ઘણા ફિલ્ડમાં India has gone forward and started manufacturing non-primary goods. Coca. We use coca bean for making chocolates. If Brazil sends coca only, it gets less price. So somebody making chocolates out of coca bean, that company or country is going to make money. So it is required that more non-primary. From primary, we have to do some further work. Another example is a cotton and ready-made garments. Yarn is there, and fabric is there, and then ready-made garment is there. Okay. Yarn get is less price, fabric more price, and ready-made garment even more price. Okay. India started doing it, and we should do it. Okay. Hold on. I just reconnect.
Sir, you are connected. Just share your PPT again.
Yeah, I'm connected. I am just want to PPT only. I have to reload.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. So this is now. Take this carefully. It says India's exports, which is shifting over a period of time. About 38% of our export to Asia. More than 50% of our export is going to Asia. There is a deliberate strategy for that. Okay. This does not happen just like that. India as a country, India as an exporting entity has decided that first concentrate on those countries where we are comfortable, where we get a business quickly and in a better manner. Why? Because a small scale enterprise cannot have that capacity in terms of the scale, technology, clearing the documents, okay, to export to country like USA or Europe. That is why there is a delivery and it is working well. It is working much better of exporting to countries where we are more comfortable, physical distance, in terms of able to talk to them, able to understand them. Government also fairly comfortable with each other. This is a deliberate strategy in India's export over a period of time. It has worked well. It has helped medium scale exporters, whether in Gujarat or all over India. Okay. So if talking about Indian export destination, go for Asian countries. ASEAN is a trade bloc. Okay. All the Asian countries go for it. Countries like Myanmar, Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. We are doing not. If you go to any time in Thailand, there is a lot of people don't only go for the sightseeing purpose. People go for business. Singapore is a big thing. Philippines wants us to come to them. Vietnam wants us to come to them. These are emerged as a major center. Post-corona crisis, we have to concentrate on them. Okay, why? Because Europe is going down and down and down, and these countries are some countries where require technological products which India have. Countries like Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam are not very technologically advanced. They make a lot of ready-made garments, but not much. And we must export to them. These are the Asian countries. Okay, all of them. Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, if you see. And again, I have told earlier, it's very important to know that logistically, physical distance-wise, we are comfortable in going to. Again, very important factor for small and medium enterprises. Another destination, block of destination, go for SAARC countries. Countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. You may say, okay, why we are talking about such small countries? My dear friends, that is the wiser and smarter thing to do. I can show you 100 of units in Gujarat. They have gone for such kind of strategy, and they have made money. Trying for 3 years to get into USA and Europe, and trying for 3 months to get into this country, you decide which is the better strategy. You start with the countries like this, and these countries will be after us after the coronavirus. Go for this group of countries, they are waiting for us. Let me tell you, you still will be able to do good business for the ASEAN countries and SAARC countries. They hold India in a high. These are the SAARC countries. Okay. Yeah, and everything. Again, everybody is our neighbor. Everybody, we can just cross the border without much formalities and start exporting. Okay. And that is why you. And of course, you have to go for all the Asia countries, because Asia is going to be one of the major market in the world. A growing share of export will be destined to other Asian countries also. And there will be a lot of trade between the various countries. There is going to be a major route between India and China. This is the route. This is the route going to take place. Again, helping India. This route, these are the route, trade route. It's called Silk Route. Okay. And that makes the things easier for a country like India. Asia, that is why is seen increasingly as the region that is going to dominate the world trade 2025. If European companies come and sell into Asia, why should not we? We are much better off in terms of logistically and culture of the country. Japan. Everybody, please take note of Japan as one of the major factors going to emerge for a country like India and Gujarat. Japan is going to be a big factor in next 10 years. Okay. India-Japan trade is already increasing fast. It is going to reach $50 billion by the end of this current financial year. And Japan is aiming a lot in terms of investing in India. You know, Japan is already there. These are the some of the units in India, Delhi, Haryana, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat has already 200 plus, and it is going to be more than 300 within no time. Okay. Suzuki is already in Gujarat, going to invest much more than Japan. We are lucky, and we should not allow it to go away. We are lucky. We have from Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. We were in Japan last year, and they are happy to come down to Gujarat. They are realize that they are able to relate to Gujarat. They have some issues of food and language, but Japan, everybody must make up their mind how to get potential from Japan. Gujarat has set up, as you know, many of you know, first time country-specific industrial estate. Okay. In North Gujarat, about let's say 1 hour distance, 80 kilometers from Ahmedabad, near Mandal Industrial Park, Japan Industrial Estate has been set up. The industrial estate will have only Japanese companies, nobody else. And about 123 hectares of the land has been acquired. And the focus area for the timings are non-polluting, engineering, automobiles, and the ancillaries. This is the location. This is the location. I visited 2 times. You must visit. Anybody interested, Government of Gujarat will help you after all this crisis is over. Okay. This is a Mandal. This is the Mandal. That is where the Japan Industrial Estate is set up. About 25 units have already been set up and they are working. And another 50 units can come up and are likely to be set up over a period of next 3 to 5 years time. This is a very unique thing to do. Why Japan Industrial? Japan is, they would like to be together. There are issues of culture, language, and food. So we are making them very compatible. There is a separate Japanese township also being set up just beside this Japan industry estate. And this will help a lot. They have realized that this is the place for them. This is going to happen more and more. This is the I visited Japan last year. Another important development is that JETRO, the Japan External Development Organization, has set up a business support center in Ahmedabad. Okay, there are 3 such centers. Hello, am I audible?
Sir, someone's mic is enabled, so we are getting reflection of your mic.
I think I would request that people can mute. No.
Sir, we are able to hear you, sir.
There is an echo, right?
Wait a minute, sir.
Might be there are 2 devices connected at your home. Mobile and laptop.
Not from my.
No, sir.
Okay.
Your audio video is perfect.
Okay. Now it is clear. Right?
I'm getting echo myself. That is why I was wondering whether other people are able to.
No, sir.
Now it is clear.
Now it's clear. Okay, fine. Thank you. Anyway, we have.
Now the audio is clear. We can listen, Mr. Padmin.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Now this is another just taking place. JETRO office is in Ahmedabad, Japan External Trade Development Organization. They have set up a business support center in Ahmedabad very recently, about few months back only. Okay, this is the 4th such center in India, and it is going to help Japanese company to enter India, particularly in the state of Gujarat, and it will help them every way by way of doing research, finding local partners, and that is what they are looking for. Japanese people are finding the right kind of partners. Japanese companies are finding the right kind of employees. Japan is going to be a big thing. Everybody must focus on how we can do business with Japan. You can take help of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. There is a Japan center there. You can help of JETRO. You can come and approach me also. I'm just open offer. Go for Asia Pacific country. We talk about Asia countries. We talk about the SAARC countries. We talk about Japan. Asia Pacific. This is Asia Pacific. That includes the entire belt from Indian Ocean to Pacific, all the countries, which includes some of the Asian countries also. Asia Pacific is going to be one of the most potential business. Okay, all these are Asia Pacific countries. Okay, as I said, the Asia Pacific region is set to experience the fastest growth in global trade by 2022. And again, India, because of its location, has the advantage. India, because of its location, has the advantage of taking advantage of the potential of Asia Pacific region. Okay, this is something you should keep in mind. So this is basically the same thing I am showing. Asia Pacific region accounted for 30%, and it is going to be much more in the. Why this is happening? So these countries are developing fast. These countries are also less affected by the present crisis. Let me tell you, and that is what this is the entire thing showing the Asia Pacific region. Okay, the world and Asia Pacific. The separate routes are being corridor. It's a marine corridor, to sea route, air corridor, by air route. So because the world trade takes place by the sea route, so there is a separate corridor being created, separate air corridor being created, connecting the Asia Pacific countries. So these are the countries which are, and of course, Middle East and Africa are already there. They are familiar to us, so we should continue exporting. The other countries we should start and expand. Here, these countries we are already there, and we should continue to doing that, of course. Okay. So these are the new patterns. Another thing we should understand is that world trade in services is going to double, and again India is very well placed. India might have less capital, but India has a lot of intellectual capital. Okay, and that is why India is going to do a lot better in services industry. In services industry, there's a consultancy, engineering services, or a technical know-how, software. Everything is going to be in big demand in the country. Okay. Now, these are some regional trade blocks, as you know. These are the trade blocks in the country. What are trade blocks? A group of countries come together: ASEAN, Gulf Cooperation Council, European Union, America, Mexico, and Canada is there. Commonwealth, there, Russia is there. This is another thing we should keep in mind, but I don't advise to go immediately rush to such kind of cluster. Concentrate on Gulf Cooperation Council, concentrate on SAARC, concentrate on ASEAN, okay, and go for the kill. Fine. So in nutshell, all this is a globalization. There are declining trade barriers. We should be happy that India is going to be in a forefront. India is going to look forward to this, and we should take. And by saying that, before you venture or if you go for expansion, take care of a few things. There are various factors you have to take into account in every country. There's a political, economical, socio-cultural, financial, legal, technological, infrastructure. Just like you do market survey before going into the market in India, you have to do the similar market assessment before going into the country. And whereas so many organizations which are going to help you, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, FICCI, SOCAM, CII, they have a ready set of data available. If you want to know, Ahmedabad Management Association, for example, Ahmedabad Management Association has come out with a country profiles for about 20 countries. So these are readily available. Either they are free of charge or they are very reasonably charged. You study them before entering into a market. How they are going to take place in terms of form before it goes to destination. These are the factors you have to check out. What is the legal system there? What is the political situation there? What are the economic criteria there? What is the all these things we have to consider. Okay. Before I end, I will just say, for a Gujarati entrepreneur, nothing is impossible. We can go anywhere. We can go moon also and set up our own tea shops there also. Okay. So here I end and make the open prayer. Thanks so much. Thanks GTU and all of you. And Amit Bhai.
Thank you, sir.
Amit Bhai, you are on the line.
Sir, thank you very much for a very brief session. And it is very insightful. Now I would request all the participants to mute one by one and please raise their question, and the forum is open for question answer. You can post a question in a chat box as well, or you can ask directly via your speaker phone.
Good afternoon, Mr. Padmin. This is Chandresh Kachi.
Hi, Chandresh. Good to talk to you.
Just wanted to know that the details which you have given
Okay.
will be available later on if we are looking for it. Some data, like especially.
GTU's property, but then Amit Bhai, we can share with the people, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chandresh Bhai.
Basically looking for the data, what are the items, this coming period is very critical.
Let me tell you one thing, Chandresh Bhai, or all the participants. This is, I am an IP man, this is Amit Bhai. This is the intellectual property created by me for all of you. Okay, so I will be happy to share. Maybe some of the things I may not be able to share, some specific statistics. Otherwise, we will be sharing with the participants who are interested. And Amit Bhai and you will take care of that. Right, Amit Bhai?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. By the way, I would like to tell other people that Mr. Chandresh Kachi was in Gulf country for years together, and he has come back to Gujarat. So we are happy and welcoming.
Yeah, I was there 26 years,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and I was the one who built the Reliance tech jackets.
So we are happy that he has come back to Gujarat, and we are looking forward to his contribution. Thank
you.
I think, sir, some participant is asking about pharma specific export.
Okay,
Please
okay.
throw light over.
Yeah.
How they
What-
proceed up.
What exactly pharma? I mean, because it's a big pharma export is a very broad subject. What they are talking about? If they are talking about the countries where they can export, okay.
As a small player, if someone has to start for exporting,
Okay,
with which
okay,
country
okay,
they can
okay. As I told you, I didn't talk about. I told about all sectors. But let me tell you, if somebody wants to export in a small way to the pharmaceutical, there are two blocks. One is Africa. Africa countries, and Africa means there are 35-40 countries. Our pharmaceutical exports are being already sold in tons. It is in a lighter manner. It is said that if you go to Kenya, Kenya is the capital, right? If you go to Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, in the evening, તમારે ચાઇના ગલ્લા પર ત્યાંનો હોય ને ત્યાંના જેવું ચાલે મતલબ ત્યાં તમને 30 થી 35 કંપનીના એમઆર જોવા બેઠેલા મળશે આપણા જ બધા ગુજરાત. It's a big every country in Africa is depending upon the generic and other products from pharmaceutical products from India and particularly Gujarat. So you can also join, but there is a competitive market. I would say you can start by exporting to African countries. You get less margin and you have some breather. Then immediately make a strategy to go to Vietnam and Thailand. Vietnam and Thailand have emerged as a very potential country for pharmaceutical export. The third phase, you can try and go for what is called Commonwealth countries, this CIS, Russian or related countries. Every country is looking for India to come and set up their base there. They are looking for India to supply them all the pharmaceuticals. So again, I will reiterate, start with African countries. Easy, but margin will be less. Then go for country like Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines, Indonesia. Okay. And then countries like Uzbekistan or Russia. But I would say that slide last. Don't attempt to go to Europe. Don't attempt to go to USA. Even the also they don't try. Don't. Japan is one of the largest market. You can never. Even our country, hardly handful of the countries are able to export to Japan. So if somebody suggests you that, don't do it. I don't want to criticize anybody else, but don't do it. Go for this kind of strategy. It's called penetration strategy. Penetrate first by low margin to African countries. Immediately go for countries like Vietnam, and they are very easy to go. Let me tell you, and logistically very easy to go to Vietnam and Philippines and Indonesia and Thailand. Okay, so this is my suggestion for them. And let me tell you, there is a huge potential. Huge potential. Yes, what you should take care is your product should conform to the international quality. Never ever try to compromise in quality. If you do that, Gujarat will suffer, India will suffer. Don't try to take shortcut. Those days are gone now. Thank you. I hope that gives the answer for the timing. Future, you are most welcome to connect with me. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what about the services business? So, like IT services, marketing companies, and design agency.
In IT, we are
going to.
You are in IT. You are in hardware or software.
Like marketing and design agencies, like app and UX design.
Okay. Look, IT services, particularly the kind of services you are talking about, I would not suggest African countries. Okay. They are yet not ready for that. But I am going to tell you one particular block of countries which I have not told here because it is very far. But particularly IT, you can think of a group of countries called Caribbean countries. You know what are Caribbean countries? West Indies countries. We know West Indies by way of cricket only. But there are 15 to 17 islands. They all fall put together come West Indies. Guyana, Jamaica, Barbados, and entire 70 countries. There is a body called CARICOM. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
There is a Caribbean Community Center. It is comprising about 15 to 70 countries. These countries are looking for this IT service. I was there about 1.5 years back. I was in Georgetown, Guyana, and I realized our two of our I don't want to give the name, but one of the very good, important, and reputed company of Ahmedabad, which is hardware and software for more in software. Their representative was there in Georgetown, Guyana, and he knew me, so we met also. This group of countries you can for your IT services. Don't try Africa; they are not ready for our kind of technology yet. Our may not be the very top high end, but still they are not ready for that. So
We have to target Caribbean countries like Jamaica.
If you know, just if you will Google, write CARICOM, CARI. CARICOM is a body of about 15 to 17 Caribbean West Indies countries. You can with them, and CARICOM is a centralized agency. Okay. Another group of country is again Asia Pacific, as I say. Asia Pacific, a country like Australia is already advanced, but they still need our kind of services. Okay. So, two block of countries I am suggesting you as field is concerned. CARICOM, which is a virgin area for us. We are not doing much business with them, mainly because it's very far. Okay, it's very far, but you don't have to worry about it for the services business. So Caribbean countries, or we can say West Indies countries, about 70 countries, and Asia Pacific countries, particularly countries like Australia.
Okay,
How to check their markets?
Sorry?
How to check their market needs or data?
That's what I'm saying. You approach CARICOM body. Approach CARICOM and tell them that I am an entrepreneur. I am having a IT service business of your company without disclosing too much of a thing. And then say that I would like to offer our services to your group of countries, and you let us know what you are looking for. They will give you the thing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
One of the participants is asking in the present corona situation how to proceed for exporting the mango and which would be a potential good markets.
Let me tell you one thing. All will have to wait for some time. As on this moment, things are what we are talking about is corona. So I would say anything after 1.5 to 2 months time. If you talk to any country now, and many people like many people in IT service also they have been talking. Except pharmaceutical to some extent, you will get a response saying that let us wait for 1 month or 1 month. Most of the countries are saying so. Today, except pharmaceuticals and healthcare support service system is required to help the healthcare business. They are ready. It is a huge thing going on in terms of export import of the healthcare and pharmaceutical products. Otherwise, all other business will have to wait. When I say you start exporting and you start exploring the exporting to ASEAN countries, Asia Pacific countries, that is going to after the post-corona. That is about 1 month, maybe 2 months. We'll have to wait for that. But healthcare, yes. Pharmaceutical, yes. They are ready lines. That if you want to export any of your pharmaceuticals and healthcare products to other countries, involve government of India in between. It is better to do it to government of India.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sir, myself Yagnesh, and actually I am very new to this business. Actually, I would like to know that how to find a genuine buyer, sir. Is there any specific procedure or proper way to find a genuine buyer in any country?
Yeah, it's a good question. But the first thing is that first decide in which field you are talking. Decide the field. Suppose you want to go in the field, you want to go to the ceramic field, you want to go to pharmaceutical field. There is one very good organization called Export Promotion Council. Okay, they are out of India, started, but they work on a professional basis. Suppose you are in chemical, there is a Chemexi. Suppose you are in ready-made garments, then there is a Apparel Export Promotion Council. Suppose you are in plastic, there is Texconsil. Suppose you are in pharmaceutical, there is a Pharmexi. For most of the major fields, there are Export Promotion Council. Okay, and they have been set up by Government of India, but are working in a very professional manner. What they do? One of the major things is that they tell you how the inquiries from countries about the product. What we call our export inquiry. Suppose we are in the field of plastics. The Texconsil every 2 weeks or every month comes out with a bulletin. That is also online, also on the website. They say these are the inquiries for this product. Suppose we are manufacturing plastic pipes, PVC pipes, then there will be inquiry that these companies from these countries are requiring plastic pipes, and some basic details are given, how much they require, what they require. So Export Promotion Council is one of the first source and authentic source to look for buyers depending upon in which field you are. You can start with that. Okay. And of course, there are organizations like Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, there are organizing like Exim, they are organized like FICCI, they also help. But I would always say the Export Promotion Council is the first start. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, sir. The session was very informative and it was very useful. My question is, sir, the data you shared are according to the current situation, but if we know that the data changes with time, the supply demand changes with time. So in future, if we want this data which are authenticate, is there any place from we can have the data? Statistics?
No, I just like to tell you one thing that I have given less of a statistics and trends, and that is what I always believe in, because as you rightly said, data are going to change. What I have said, I have given some statistics just to make aware, okay, what is the scenario now. Okay. And second thing, you must realize that I also given data up to the year 2022 only, 2022 only. I have not given data for 2030 after 10 years, because I don't believe in that, frankly speaking, because it is very easy to project data up to 10 years, but it is no use. So what I am going to tell you is that what I have given trend, and let me assure you, this trend is going to continue. I don't want to be sounding to be immodest, but this is not only my take. This is the take of all the people who are in this business. The trends are going to continue in terms of the countries which are showing potential. Now, coming back to your question of in future, if you want to know further data, earlier, the organizations, you can start with organizations like Exim Bank in Ahmedabad. There is Exim Bank is a Export Import Bank. Okay, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. In Gujarat Chamber of Commerce, there is a Export Import Help Desk. Okay, I was the chairman of the Foreign Trade Committee of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce in the last 4 years. There is a Exim desk. Mr. Jagdish Bhatia, a very senior professional in this field, comes every day in the afternoon from Monday to Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. You meet him.
Okay.
You will help him, and if you know, he will get you the data afterwards. Nice person, nice place. So, Exim Bank, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce Exim Desk, Management Association, including me, and there is a person called Mr. Abidi, okay, and Export Promotion Council. You will look for it. Right?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, my pleasure.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि पेमेंट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन कैसे डील करेंगे कंट्रीज में जब एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं तो?
ओके, अभी जाना बाकी है,
अभी जाना बाकी है उस पे।
तो अच्छा, आपके काफी दूर की सोच रहे हैं, हम हैप्पी दूर की सोच रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक्सपोर्ट के पैसा तो मिलना चाहिए ना। इट्स a good relevant question. Let me tell you two things. For small scale sector, and I am focusing on small and medium sector because they need this guidance and help. For payment, always go through bank. Always go through bank. It is very tempting to deal directly. I know somebody in Kenya, I know somebody in Ghana, I know somebody in Rwanda, I know somebody in Thailand. मेरे को जानते हैं, मेरे को रेफरेंस मिला है, B2B, party to party business करते हैं, nothing wrong. Initially, try to open what is called LC, letter of credit. What is that? That guarantees your payment. Always go through bank. That is one thing. Make it payments against delivery or delivery against payment. Second safeguard. Take insurance. There is a company called Government of India organization called ECGC, Export Credit and Guarantee Corporation. उसमें अहमदाबाद में भी उसका ऑफिस है. Take insurance. People are hesitating to insurance. तो मेडिकल जैसा है. मेडिकल लिया तो उसका कोई बात नहीं, अच्छा है ना. मेडिकल यूज करने के लिए you don't have to be sick. But when you really fall into some bad days or some foreign exchange fluctuation, this kind of thing helps. So I will repeat: go through bank, delivery against payment, open LC, letter of credit, and insure your business under ECGC kind of work. This is the way you have to make sure so that your payment will be not under risk. Okay, don't take chances. Okay. Okay, any more questions? I'm happy. There are some good questions. I'm happy.
सर अगर हम किसको एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं और सामने वाले रिजेक्ट करते हैं तो उसके मतलब उसका कॉस्ट भी हमारे को देना पड़ता है, डिकम्पोज का मतलब जलाने का कॉस्ट भी हमारे को देना होता है।
अगर आपने जो प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट किया
वो रिजेक्ट होता है तो
रिजेक्ट नहीं, रिजेक्ट होता है तो इफ दे आर राइट, अगर उनको दे कैन प्रूव दैट द प्रोडक्ट इज नॉट एज वाज specification in terms of freshness, whatever may be. If they are able to prove that this is inferior, below standard than what was ordered and committed, there was agreement, then naturally somebody who is exporting such kind of substandard product is also to suffer.
तो perishable goods कैसे एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे?
There are a lot of ways to do it. There are a lot of perishable goods being exported. That is not an issue. There are a lot of things in a controlled environment. This is all being exported. Okay. Have such kind of environment in the ship, you cannot export by air everything because it's very costly. So the ships, cargo ships, have such a controlled cold storage environment that when it reaches the country of destination, it is in the same status. Whether it is a milk product, whether it's a flour, fruits, all the perishable products are being exported, and they are exported in a controlled environment. That is not an issue. It is the responsibility of the exporter that the product reaches in the manner which the importer has asked for it. But sometimes importers play games, dirty games. You have to fight it out, and that is where the safeguards I narrated earlier. You have to ensure a product, so that's not an issue. Okay.
Sir, my question is
third party company or anything in India? Any third party inspection company?
There are so many. There are so many third party inspection companies here in India. What I would suggest is that you can go to the customs department. Okay. That is near, if you are in Ahmedabad, that is near Income Tax Charasta. Or you can simply Google it also. Or later on, I can give you name of one or two private companies' name also. That is purely in good faith. Not necessarily you have to go to them only. There are some very good custom clearing agents, organizers. They do third party. They are approved in at least 30-40 countries. So third party inspection agencies are there. They are approved by the government of India and elsewhere also.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
My question is that can I export the sanitizer to Africa?
As I told you earlier, in the present time, you should go through government channels. Okay. It is both the country which wants to import it and the country from which it is exported, that is India. At present, all these dealings like this. Yesterday only I was talking to somebody regarding ventilators. So I said that it is better to go through channel and it is advisable. So you can definitely export if there is a need in Africa for sanitizer. You can export it. Just conform to the standard. First, you should check up yourself. The specification given by the importing country or company, whether you are able to make them or not, whether you got sufficient quantity or not, and whether it has a sufficient shelf life or not, then go to the Indian government. Okay. Sorry? I'm not able to hear. Who is asking? Amit bhai?
Sir,
Time is over and we are continuing.
I think if any participant has a question, we can take one more question.
Yeah, we can take one more question.
Sir, my name is Nikhil. I would like to know my quantity of export is very low, around 1,000 kgs per consignment. So where can I find good LCL logistic people?
Sorry, I'm not able. Your voice is breaking. What do you say? Can you repeat, please?
Sir, my export quantity is very low, around 1,000 kgs per consignment. So where can I find? Sir, it is basically edible products like salt and grains and all those things. So where can I find good logistic people who are cheap and can take this kind of consignment in LCL?
You said you want to export 1,000 kg, which is 1 ton, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Somebody is looking for somebody to place the order.
Yes.
Somebody asked for 1 ton raw material, 1 from your material, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are you looking for now?
I am looking to find cheap logistic people who can take the LCL material, because I tried finding out, but they are asking too much high price per kg.
They are looking for cheap logistics from me.
Yes.
From within the country or which country you want to export?
Sir, Hong Kong and Kenya.
So you want to change? Ideally, what happens that because this is very small quantity, so it has to be part of some container load. Okay, it has to be part of some container load. Your product will have to be placed with the other product so that your cost will be distributed. Okay.
Yes.
So what in this kind of thing, what happens that you have to wait. It may happen that you may have to work for 15 days till the time the container load is completed. So that is the best. Many people do it. It's not that once in a while people have to get an export query and they have to send in such kind of 5 tons kind of product quantity. So in this case, the better way is to wait and tell the cargo agent or custom clearance agent, the people who are helping, that I'm ready to wait. But when the container load is full, take my product also along with that, so that your cost is distributed. That is one of the way to do it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, Amit, I think we can stop now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dear all participants, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Buddh sir, for your precious time and discussing briefly on the said topic and giving
my pleasure. Meeting you and my pleasure.
Yes, really good insights you have shared with all our participants, sir. I have shared your email ID in the chat box with all the participants. In case if you have any question, you can write email to Buddh sir directly.